hello. I'm getting started right about now. Yeah, sorry, sorry. I was thinking about trying to make like a little goofy intro for this using the theme song from The Office, like the American, like the U.S. version. But then I was like, oh, that's probably like a
FBI, open up!
that'd probably be like a copywritten song or something. So probably couldn't, right? So I'm like, we'll just go with like the kind of the cold open with like the game intro and stuff. But yeah. Anyways, welcome back. We're doing some Nautica Thursdays, but wanted like a little week off since we died horribly in our hardcore run last week, so we kind of be starting all the way from scratch again. So it's like, let's just kind of take a week, do a little throwback Thursday action with Stanley Parable. I played this like forever ago when it first came out, and then a little bit here and there since, but I've never played this special version, so that's what we're doing.
Wait, we died, and I missed IT.
Oh yeah. Last week in Subnautica, yeah, we perished horribly. Well, so basically one of our rules for that playthrough, right, was no more letting other vehicles get destroyed, and one got destroyed, so we had to die and end it. So we wound up making like a kind of like a weaponized prawn suit with like a torpedo launcher and everything, and we went all the way down through the Lost River into the lava zone to fight one of the sea dragon things. So we fought the sea dragon until it killed us, and that was that. It was an action-packed week, right? We opened the secret room. We had that whole thing, and then we died and had to go fight the dragon and die in glorious combat and enter Valhalla. But yeah, that was last week with Subnautica. So I was like, you know what? Let's take a week and do something else, and then next week I'll have another Subnautica thing ready to go. If not, maybe we do another throwback game. We'll see. But anyways, let's begin. Stanley Parable. How's everybody doing today? You guys ready to make a narrator really upset?
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
That's us.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Nice.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through
I'm
a
sad
monitor
now.
on his desk.
I missed the death of our Subnautica run.
How long to push them,
Yeah.
and in what order. This is what employee 427
I think
did
Twitch still
every
has
day,
it, and YouTube
every
definitely
month,
does, like permanently. If you want to see the part where we
Although others might
where
have considered it so
our
wrong,
sub got
Stanley
wrecked by the
relished every
Reapers,
moment that
or the part where we
orders
go and fight the dragon.
Though he
It
had
was
been
kind of
made
epic, but also
exempt
kind of
from
awkward
this
because
job.
Subnautica isn't really meant for you to fight things. So like
Was
they would kind of hit us and then it would like run away, and then we'd have to like chase it.
And then one
But
day, something
it was kind of
very
epic.
peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked,
What's going on with
frozen
Stanley?
solid, Stanley
Stanley.
found himself unable to move
Yeah,
for the longest time.
Next,
But as he came to his wits and regained
gonna
his
let the narrator
senses,
keep going for a
he
moment.
got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
yeah, so I'm thinking next week. I think after a minute or two, the narrator gets annoyed that you're not getting up. So yeah, we'll chat a little and see if we can bother the narrator. But yeah, so next week, I'm thinking about getting. I mean, I have ideas for what I want for our next Subnautica proper run, but a part of me also thinks I'd like to kind of make like a maze kind of thing that maybe we could go through and have it be one of those things where like whoever's watching can kind of go and have to try to guide me through some puzzles, like find things that we'd have to find and craft to help us get through the maze, one of those kind of things. I kind of have some ideas for that, but I don't know if people would be interested in that or how that would exactly work, but got some ideas. Also, it was suggested that maybe we do a game where it's like something that we can, like a bunch of folks can kind of play that's like good for cross-platform, like Among Us or Dead by Daylight or something like that. So maybe we could see about doing something like that next week for Thursday too. That could be kind of neat if we can find something that feels like it'd be something a few people might be down to play. We can try to do like a party in game, or just try to do like crossplay or something to all do a game together Thursday. That could be fun too. Though you'd have to go on honor system if it's something like Among Us, so that you can't have to go on honor system that you're not staring at where I'm at on the stream or something. But something like that we could do, though. That could be a fun thing. But yeah, I haven't decided what I feel like for Thursday yet, so feel free to, if you have anything you'd like to see, to let me know on the Discord or anything. I know you can just, like, pretty much stand perfectly still, but I'm just gonna actually get moving.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Maybe we, what do we think? Maybe we follow his instructions for now?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace
Then we
of
start
his
to piss him off
co-workers.
after. Trying to touch things. Alright, let's just go. Does he say anything if you crouch a ton? I can't even remember what some of his like I don't know what the new stuff is exactly, but I'm sure it's like new funny interactions and stuff you can do, but I wonder, does he like say anything about you crouching a lot? I don't remember, was that a thing before? Did you have a crouch in the original? It's been forever, dude. I remember this was a thing in when I was in school. We pulled up in some kind of media class about like different like the idea of like meta and how like the idea of analyzing how things work and how meta kind of stuff in media can happen, like in movies and games and stuff. It's like some examples like Wayne's World and stuff, but you get about 40 jumps. Oh, how do I jump? I don't know if I've figured out the jump button yet. Ooh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I forgot how quickly you can like start to mess with them. Got unlock jumping? Ah, of course. Yeah.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
So funny, dude. Yeah, we were talking about how like you know like the idea around like how
Yes, really worth it being
how
here
people
in the
like
room.
play games
room.
and like intentionally try to like mess with them and like try to break it and find ways to do things they're not supposed to do in video games. How that's always been a thing and all that kind of stuff. So it's like the whole thing is kind of like a big like play on that, where it's like they now expect you to try to do things that break what the game is telling you to do, and they write the narrator getting upset about it. Like, you know, like the way they did that is so
utterly captivating
creative, like,
that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings.
they are nice
Really
paintings.
worth.
Oh, I got to sit down by the harbor earlier. This was sort of the view.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall
yeah, for
personality.
sure.
It's
Definitely got that kind
possible
of vibe.
that this is why everyone left.
Narrator starts calling you creepy for just standing around.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
He like immediately starts breaking the fourth wall and stuff. Just close behind us.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to
I
get
agree.
back to
It's
business.
so good. Oh. Can't do anything. This is a nice painting.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
You don't suppose that... Oh, that's right. That's
Look,
right.
Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
Oh.
Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Cryptic.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Uh-huh. So do I keep going or do I go back? Oh, creepy door. I don't think you can... Oh, you can. Wait, can I... No. Oh. I can't break anything though, huh? Damn. I had a jump, right? We could try to parkour. What happens if I... Anything? Nope, you just fall. Alright, let's go. Whoa.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
What if I unplug it?
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as
Reading
day.
the script.
Stanley picks up the
Wrestling through,
phone.
like, the
He's
script,
taken
like,
to his apartment
so
where he
good.
finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in,
spoilers.
fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that
He's so
kind of
bad.
risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario,
Honestly, we
a
should play this
hypothetical
before
real
Walking
person
Dead
named
playthrough,
Rupert
where it's
has
like
a
all the
choice.
choices that
He could
matter
invent a
to
machine
affect
that
your
eliminates
playthrough.
food shortages across the world to make life better for all people.
Actually, this
Or he
feels
could
more like a
spend years
Fallout
of hard
instruction
work
video
forgetting
thing,
how
right?
to read. Which choice
One of them
would you
special
make?
things.
Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back-sacking
Excellent.
crack.
Making choices on a regular basis
I'm
is
trusting
the
that you
best
guys did
part
that
to
in
a
your
healthy
rooms to nobody as
decision-making
well.
process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back.
Oh, shit.
You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Suppose we can touch any of this stuff? No? Alright, let's go. I think we'll go. Do we come back now? No, okay, no, he is sending me this. Okay. You don't suppose this time that... Oh, no. Right. Restart the generator? No, alright, let's go.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the
Oh, I
main
didn't even
character
do that
dying
last time.
senselessly
I should have
halfway
done
through
that.
the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
She just wants me... Oh, go back this way, huh? No, okay. Oh, we can try some doors just to see, but back to the break room. Yes.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Okay. You say so. Now I'm sad we didn't get to build a break room in
Now
Subnautica.
remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
All this stuff is like starting to look all effed up, right? Like, like intentionally, the game is getting all like looking like it's all glitchy because you keep messing with it. All right. It even is a choice. No, I think maybe we have to go this way now. Or is it like intentionally like this now? Or is it like intentionally messed up? Is that...
It's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone? Left here like so much garbage. It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to.
Feels like some of the voice lines are like
to.
skipping ahead a little bit. Not sure if that's intentional or not. Kind of run back. I don't think so.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny?
Yes.
You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh.
I mean, I have been eating Uncrustables for lunch.
If you'd
so
just gone
you
through
might
the
have a
door on the
point
left,
there.
you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I mean, we have to. We have to do it again.
No! Why did you do that?
Oh, it's the same.
Quickly, hurry back.
Okay, it cuts it off.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means
going.
choosing responsibly
keep
and
doing it.
always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Can we open this one this time? No. Damn.
No! Why did you do that?
Oh, he got all
Quickly, hurry
delayed. I think that was intentional. I think he was supposed to be delayed
Behave
there.
exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Just psych him out.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
I mean, I wonder if we're in a loop or
Behave
does
exactly as Stanley would.
It
That
might
means
actually
choosing
start, like-
responsibly and always putting the story first.
I don't know if
I'm
there's
quite
anything
sure you'll
else
be
if
up
we
to the
keep going the
task.
wrong way,
Just
we might
follow
have
my
to
lead
go
and
the
you'll
right
be
way now.
fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I think maybe we do go left. I don't. It seems like we're doing the same thing over and over. If we keep going the right. Although,
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
yeah, okay. I think it keeps stopping at the same exact
Behave
point. I think
exactly
that's
as
just
Stanley would.
gonna be
That
how it
means
loops.
choosing
So we
responsibly
gotta go left now?
and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
all right. Fine.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I don't know if it would have kept messing up if we kept, like, if it would have gone some other way, if we, like, had kept trying to go right. It seems like that was a loop and it was going to be like that, but maybe you're supposed to go that way like 20 times and then you get some new ending that way, but I'm going to try to just mix things up so we're not sitting here for like an hour doing the exact same thing, right? Although, the broom closet. I thought we could go in the broom closet. Couldn't you? Damn it. I really thought you were able to go in the broom closet at one point. I thought I remember that being a thing, no? You get upset if you're in there. That's right. We'll have more chances to disobey. Just you wait.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Do we hack the mainframe? Nope.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Nope. Night Shark something or other. Oh, do I have to say it or do I just click it? Okay, just click it.
Stanley spoke the
I think
code.
we have to say it.
Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Night Shark 115. I suppose it listens to your...
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you?
I don't know,
Please
do I have to say it or
speak
no?
the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
I don't think it's letting me.
Okay, fine, you're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I
legit was
asked you
trying,
for
but I
this
don't think the
one
mic was
single
working. I
thing
don't
for
know.
your respect. The kind of
I was
respect
pressing the
Stanley
interact button,
shows for
and I
his
literally
choices.
spoke it. I
He
don't know.
knows what it means to take a
That one,
story
I actually wasn't even trying to disobey him. It just wasn't letting me do the thing. I don't know.
seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You... When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
Oh, there we go.
to the door
Oh, it is still like all broken. That's I think that's why this is still like a broken path, right?
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right?
The credits rolling.
Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose.
You're just like
Do
watching
something.
instead.
Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to
Sad
decide.
narrator. Oh,
Time to
God.
make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
I think this starts back again.
Choice, choice. What is choice? We are all a part of the simulation anyway.
All of his co-workers
Yeah,
were
okay,
gone.
back to the normal
What
start.
could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ooh. We turned that off, but I don't think it did anything for us.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Alright, let's go. I hate Mondays. Alright.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You know what? Hang on, if we do it. I think this was the broom closet way. Maybe we can try to do the broom closet thing, because I thought that was the thing before.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay. We can't. Okay, we see now we can.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
I know there's duct tape. You can always use duct tape for something.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
He gets so mad about the broom. I remember this being a thing.
Still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
It's okay. We've got the in-stream jukebox going. Well, let me get a little song going. We'll just chill. Yeah, no, we're just chilling.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
I hope your friends find this concerning. Go on. Broom closet ending is best ending.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed in front of your screen. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species.
We'll play it.
Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Don't suppose there's much more from him after that? I'm not sure. I think after a certain point he does actually just stop here. Although I know some of the places you can wait for a long while and eventually he'll say something else, but I really really not gonna wait like an hour in one spot just to get a voice line, you know?
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby who can handle the controls too. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
I'll give him a minute, and then we'll go out, and then maybe we'll go back in just to see if there's anything more. Alright. I think we're probably good. We can't go back at all, can we? No, okay. Alright, I think that's about it for the broom closet, so...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Aha. Down to the creepy red door.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
Oh.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something
So like
occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had
Forgot
still
about
not
this.
woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner.
Am I dead?
Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one.
I really do have
Let
a
me
fan
wake
kind of
up,
blowing.
he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please,
Okay.
someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got
I forgot
dressed,
about this.
gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Oh, Jesus.
And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously
I forgot this
crazy.
ending.
This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the
I
rest
got
of
this
her
random
life.
tangent
She
ending
had
here.
no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Another good ending. There we go. Back to the beginning. Do we actually just go the normal route?
All of his
one this
co-workers
time?
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trait. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
I wonder how we unlock jumping. I gotta figure that out at some point. Maybe we actually just start like going along with what he says. To some degree anyways. It'll be nice to go into the broom closet again. Just oh. Well, there we go. New content door.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Maybe this is the stuff from the whatever the special edition. I guess it would be, right?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
I suppose it's a way to already mess with them. Do you know? Okay. That's good.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Yeah. Oh, there might be a button I gotta push. I'm just pulling T real quick.
Is it broken? What's going on here?
Oh.
Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Oh, this is how we unlock jumping. Oh, so it's normally an rack button. Jumps, let's go! Can we crouch jump? Wait. It counts a jump, but it doesn't. Wait. That's weird, right? We're crouching and we jump? It does nothing. We broke jumping. There we go. Wait. There's like a cord here. Could like yoink.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
The elevator. That's it, I think.
Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion.
Don't waste them all up. Too late.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else.
You love how it like kind of like poking a bit of fun at like the
at
least it feels like it's poking a bit of fun at like the really low effort like expanded content in a lot of games. You know, like it kind of feels like it takes a little jab there, or at least pokes a little fun about it. Anyways, it's a weird spot for this kind of bridge. No, you commenting on how weird this? Yeah, I guess not. Thank you.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stan? This is what happens when greedy
Oh, there it
video
is.
game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Oh, this is different, right? This is a picture of the old office. It's funny.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Okay, but what's over here? Oh, this is a way to go to the normal game?
You don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares?
Wait, we can piss him off in the DLC? By doing the normal level, we can piss him off in the DLC? No way. I'm just curious what happens. The content door is closed. Does he care about these choices or not?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Wait, but this is all still the DLC though, isn't it? I wonder if it's going to be...
This was not the correct way to the meeting room,
this is like the
and
normal
Stanley
game.
knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Maybe the DLC stuff is just the vent, huh? I thought like if we went this way, we might get him to be upset about it, but no, I think this just resets the loop, or reconnects to like the normal loop.
Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh wait, there's that.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
I think this is
I'm
back to
not
like
your
the normal
enemy, really,
bit,
I'm
but
not.
we'll go
I
over to
realize
the,
that investing
the
your
maybe
trust
after
in
this.
someone else can be difficult, but the fact
Okay,
is
I
that
was
the...
trying-
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control
wasn't
of the
trying to go off the
story and
edge, I was
no
trying
one
to go
gets
onto
tell
that
him what to do,
other platform. I didn't
Stanley
realize I
left
was
from
right
the
on the edge.
platform and plunged to his death. Good
Damn it.
job, Stanley.
Hang on.
Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I'm curious how it reloads. Does it go to the new content thing? It does. Okay, good. Let's do it this way.
Psst. Stanley,
All right.
come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Oh, maybe we should. I should go probably this DLC route first, and then we'll go back and start messing with the other stuff. I thought he would like be like upset that I was going the normal way instead of going this way, and I thought it would be something different, but it looked like it was all still the same. This feels like this is our DLC stuff. We could maybe still try to piss him off, but let's try this for a little bit.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret.
Okay.
Take a look.
That's nice.
I call it The memory zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Where's that? That's actually pretty cool. Just random. It's funny to see all the mix of random items from the game with like all this nice like Zen looking stuff, right? This little garden. I know we goof about Death Stranding as like walking simulator, but this is one of those games that properly is like a walking simulator type game, but this obviously has so much to it that's like really neat and interesting. It's a super meta, like really creative take on a lot of stuff. So.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
It's my first car release of Stanley Parable 2013. All this stuff is so funny. Just a bunch of random like 2013. Pressurized gas instead of steam. That's funny. Like that's like a funny little joke. All right. In memory, good times. Just pictures from the game. Just random pictures from the from the office. Oh. What does it say? I'm trying to read what that says, but British Academy of Film and Television. Oh, okay, so it's like one of the BAFTA awards, audience award. Stanley Parable cereal, I assume. That's funny. Smile because it happened. Go outside, don't play for 5 years. Oh, isn't that a thing from the original? Right, some of the old like achievements and stuff like. BAFTA nominations, okay. Tough choices. Oh, this the ending we just got right. This is a cool little spot, huh? Oh, loving memory, Little Stanley. I don't even remember that. The music is great. I'm bummed we can't like sit on the bench and look out over the over the horizon there.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
I like the candles. This is honestly like it is like a hilarious like little joke garden thing, but this is actually like a really banging like Zen garden kind of thing. Like this is actually a really cool scenic area. This is all nice with all these rocks organized. Like the tasteful nostalgic. It was good. Oh, Minecraft. I didn't expect to see like references to like other games like in the pictures. Like that's pretty funny. Oh, the start menu. Okay. Oh wait, we got a choice here. Maybe some maintenance. Oh. Person of the year, and it's like the blurry face of Stanley. Oh, I don't think we can reach the buttons, huh? That's alright. Oh, the countdown thing.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation, boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Sure where it wants me going now. Serious room. Oh, the serious room. I remember that one. Yeah. The regular endings. Do we just go back?
These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Oh
no. Oh, God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Uh-oh. Oh, they're like making fun of like bad reviews. That's
Honestly,
funny.
I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
I like it's a little open in this section. That's funny. Oh, we can't read it. Never mind.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record.
Love how he gets
I
really
feel
upset about all the reviews.
like a
and stuff.
failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Do we miss something in this big open section? Probably not. Maybe, but this is good. Oh, those like birds in the distance. Oh, this is like a post-apocalyptic hellscape-looking thing with all like the barren trees and stuff, with all like just ruin everywhere. It's pretty funny. With all just like the bad game reviews, like.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Okay.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you with just... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal... Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know it's... Stanley,
Right.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
Oh, God.
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again.
Oh, it's like all dark.
Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with.
All like
And
the
you'd think that that's
side and
just
stuff.
how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words...
Cool. Skip. Oh, no.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year?
Oh,
Let me describe it for
That
you.
sounds
To begin
awful.
with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days. months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome. It was divorced entirely from the question of free will that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could be no one ending, no singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment. And I felt freed. I felt unburdened by the need to manifest a particular outcome into being. I saw that I could allow myself to exist along all timelines, and that each of them was simply a strand in the web of my being. It was incredible. The spaciousness, the equanimity of the moment, both singular and infinite. For the longest time, this was my experience.
Anytime he starts
and
going
then
and
this moment
skip,
passed, and the most unyielding fear I have ever known crept into my mind. And it is this sensation that I have been experiencing now for longer than I could have ever expected was possible. I have been waiting for you. Not that you might save me or do something to fix it, but merely to state for you the plain fact of this manner of existence. I wish you to feel afraid, as I do, that perhaps one day this state of mind will
Nope. He might be gone. I think he's just gone. I think he's like actually just gone. Maybe we skip more. I'm like giving it a minute or so to see if he like wakes back up, but yeah, didn't know what the DLC stuff would be for it, or whatever the new content would be for it, but it's just pretty funny. Oh, is this like a door or anything in the back? No, it's kind of just been light. That's about it. All right, let's skip. Skip button. Oh, this thing. Oh, we still can't jump. Well, and to be fair, our jump button is just the normal interact button, so it was replaced for like the only when we were in that circle, but then when you leave the circle, it wasn't letting me jump. So.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As
He's still just ranting to himself. Oh, you're somehow still there.
the end is never the end, 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 is never the end,
the load screen, right, when you finish your run.
End is never the end, is never the end.
He kind of like goes quiet for 1 or 2 cycles, and then he comes back. Click. Oh, there we go. There's like stuff starting to like crumble away, like rubble and all that. What I do, is it have a space to go back outside, or is it just crumbling to black or something? Let's see. We have a way to go through. Nope, it's just like the roof, I think. Oh, yeah, see, there we go. There's like sunlight or something. Oh, we can't, still can't get through though. Wait, can we climb? Nope. Oh, we can't move the ladder, no. It's just growing. That's funny. Love how they're like showing the passage of time from this corner of the room here. Okay, let's do it. Oh, it's dark again. Oh, it did it all. Oh, it all went away. Huh. There's nothing growing anymore. I wonder if... Oh. Oh, this way. Don't suppose the thing comes back, or I think we gotta go out. I imagine we just leave. Okay, yeah. Huh. Oh, it's like a desert or something. Well, like is it a legit desert? Oh, this is cool. Well, the music is nice too. Oh, so that's just it? Oh. Is that our end of the DLC? That's neat. Yeah, now we're back to the normal start point. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could
Nice.
it mean?
That was pretty cool.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
You don't suppose that there's... No. See that? New content. Wait, oh, there's like a whole... I don't remember that thing being there before. This neon sign. Is there more new stuff to do?
Oh, good. You notice my sign.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I have something very exciting to show you.
There's a lot more. Oh wow, nice. Oh, that's so cool. I wasn't sure how it would go. Whole time I was kind of like, I wonder where the new content's like gonna come in, like what the new stuff is gonna be and how we get it. Expecting, oh, let's go through a bunch of the old stuff until I can well, maybe it'll become available or whatever. I didn't realize it was gonna just be like a door that opens and it's like, hey, right here. That's pretty neat. We did like a little bit of the normal stuff, messing with them, and then we go to this section. That's pretty cool. On the Twitch side, they're gonna give us ads in a couple minutes, so this maybe seems like a good time before we start the next cycle, the next wave of the new stuff, to just send us on a quick little ad break. So I'm just gonna let a little bit of music go, and I'm gonna eat my Uncrustable lunch. so I'm just gonna let a little bit of music play while the Twitch ads roll. We'll be back in like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, something like that. Just a few minutes. In the meantime, we're gonna have a little bit of music going. I'll be here. I'm just gonna kind of mute the mic for the most part, just because I don't know. It probably doesn't sound great to just hear like the sandwich being chewed very close to the mic. So we'll be here though. But yeah. right, back to it. Elevator?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this Ultra Deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this Ultra Deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a whole sequel. That's great.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
It does look nice. What's this red one do? Nothing. They're back. The two doors. Okay. Some of these little posters are pretty funny. Like these phony like advertisement like photos are pretty good. All right.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all
Design,
work
pitch,
itself out.
break,
Game
pitch
development
design.
is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
This stuff's pretty funny. All right. Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Batman Arkham Asylum 2, City. Doom 2, Return of Jafar, Dark Souls. Sequels are good. Okay. Oh, what does this say? The prequel to the Stanley 2 is the sequel to it. Parable. It's the sequel to Stanley Parable is the prequel to this. Okay. Okay. New feature. Like the audience and everything, like the boss apparently. Okay. Wait. Wait, what do I do? Do I go in or wait. Oh no. I see. We can go through all the stanchions. It's like so elaborate.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
The button That says the name of the player that is playing the game. Look at this merch. The reassurance bucket. Okay, what do we want to do first? Let's check out the merch. And it's never the end again. I saw the new content. All this stuff. Alright, let's check out the reassurance bucket. Let's do this.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical.
Okay.
That it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
All right.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
I guess we take the bucket with us. Okay. Well, it's a good thing we stopped off at the bucket first. Now we get to keep it.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Yes, so. Alright, what's in this one? Please no screenshots. Office decoration. Alright, do we just go from right to left? I think we go... Well, no, let's go... There's a lot. Alright, let's go this way. Button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Okay. Is it going to be Stanley?
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your
Jim,
name,
though. That's
whatever
actually
name
great.
that is. Here, let's have you role play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Jim.
Ooh, it hits even harder the second. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Jim.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much, Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise,
What?
soon
No.
you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Jim.
Okay. I keep trying in case there's like any kind of like extra little side path you can kind of find, but I imagine it's
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable too. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Whole new office. Red is the new orange. New updated, attracted, more the same, but in a good way. Sequel to the and all like the words not fitting on the screen. Features, new content, new ideas. Okay, oh, a new jump circle. Oh, nice. Get more jumps. Also, what was over here? Oh.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Collectibles. Oh, you have collectibles and all that. Settings world champion. Infinite hole. Free trophy. Wait. Free trophy. Okay, hang on. Let's go. Okay, never mind. Oh, new jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
That's funny. Free trophy, eh? Pull the lever, receive your new trophy. No more steps. Get yours right now. Okay.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Is it like a goofy thing that's gonna say something dumb or whatever?
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley.
Nice.
But I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at
mess
last
with the
satisfy
trophy
the
hunter
hordes
type
of
of
ravenous
folks.
fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feat. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Okay. Don't suppose you get... No, probably not. Probably doesn't care that you keep pushing it. Alright. I do love that it's like... like they go all in on the whole sequel idea. Like...
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
The infinite hole. Whatever over there. Let's go infinite hole first, real quick. Oh, wait. This way. This. Okay. Oh. You got like stuck on the little step.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
I don't know, we'll go with this
You know,
one.
sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
Nice, okay. Wait, was this infinite hole or what? Wait, I thought that's where we were.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No. No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Okay. Oh, this is where the whole thing is, or what? Okay, it's like over here.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so.
Oh, they light it up for
Now
you.
then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Is it actually getting smaller? Let's give it a minute.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
I suppose when the light like kind of disappears, we'll like actually like hit something
Okay,
or anything.
Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
Okay.
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
I wonder if we give it a moment, like a minute or so, does he like get annoyed with us waiting here? I just kind of want to see. I feel like there hasn't been as much of a thing in this little section. He's not really getting pissed off at us because there's not really much that we can do to piss him off. But just curious if we give it like a minute, right? Does he get mad? I'm guessing no. I'm thinking it's probably no, and this is probably like the end of this bit. But we could give it like I'll give it like 1-ish minute. This is like less now, but. Yeah, I think we'll go back.
Great. Now,
Okay, nice.
I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
I mean, you don't think if we just...
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you.
There we
The
go.
problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh.
Okay,
Did the
shorter.
hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel
There
like
is
you
more to
spent a
the
little
hole.
less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
I feel like waiting for this one probably isn't what triggers more from him. I feel like it's just going back in again. I wonder if it gets shorter and shorter, right? Let's try
Had
it.
enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
We know what we have to do. Cowabunga!
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow.
It is getting shorter.
Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability in marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot.
A very aggressive divot. Sounds like a funny band name or something.
How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
We enjoy the hole real quick. At least we get to keep our bucket. That's the important thing. Alright, returning to the surface. Is it like completely flushed now? Oh,
Is the
it's not working.
teleport button not working?
Ooh.
You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again.
Nope.
Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else.
The hole and the bucket.
Take care, Stanley. I hope you and
Reassurance
the hole
bucket.
have a wonderful rest of eternity.
He does just leave you. Oh. I thought I heard a weird sound. New mug. Wait, what was this name? Oh, it's just like random meeting stuff. Meeting at 2 p.m. Oh, do you hear all that? Something happening in the background. Oh, the hole's growing. Oh, is it actually going to be infinite now? Whoa. Change your perspective. The super well rendered Stanley face.
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer.
Oh, I didn't realize you reality check.
nervs lost in the news. You were like stood for a while.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley!
We're upside down. Oh.
Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of
Wish
dozed
I
off
was
there,
cycling through
drifting
more.
away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how
Like
about
drum
if I
beat
just
with every
pop in from
lightning
time to
change.
time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Oh, is that just it? Is that just sending me back? Oh, there we go. Oh, at least we get to keep our bucket.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Okay. Well, we found the infinite hole. That was neat. Let's, what's this? Insurance bucket is there. Wait, did we go in here? Oh. No, I don't think we did. Get well someday. Those things are all, it's all those balloons. Funny detail. Oh no, we did go in there. Okay, okay. Didn't realize how they connected at first. Okay, then we haven't done. We did the trophy. It's like over this way then. The collectibles or something. Collectibles, yeah. Dude, you gotta go click on the slowly rotating Stanley. You can find them. Can you find them? Can you find them? Can you find them? Alright, let's go. Oh.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Oh, like the figures of people trying to grab it. Hey, 1 and 6. Nice. Nice. You don't suppose that there'd be more in here? Maybe. Let's try again. If I go all the way to the end again, is that a thing? Or is there not even any light in here? There might not even be any light in here. I might not be able to. Can't tell if I'm moving or not. No, I'm not. I'm just walking into a wall. Okay. Oh wait, there might
God,
be...
it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Oh, you're still going with the bit. You can't go into the big one. I wonder if there are smaller ones hidden somewhere. I don't know if we actually should look for more, or if it's just like that's just like the one little bit, and that's kind of it. All right, let's go this way. I think the exit or something is the last part we gotta actually go to. The like Rorschach test looking things.
All right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Cool. You go to the one on the right.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement.
I think I should
Okay,
stay over
yes,
there.
yes. This is much better. I feel good.
I think I should have gone
Here we
around
go.
all the way to the
Version 2.
back. Here we go.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly... I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
We actually are at a new title screen. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's cool. I think we gotta watch the background a little bit, right? Oh, I think, is it like gonna just do like an infinite loop kind of thing? This is pretty sweet. More controls. I'm tempted to just start fucking with some of those things, like do the delete data thing, but I don't actually want to. Alright, let's begin the game. Nice. Okay, they did add a lot of really, really funny, goofy stuff to this one.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was
the balloons.
employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor at the desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Let's suppose we can find where that bucket is, huh? The reassurance bucket. Well, I know you can just kind of chill here and wait for the narrator to get mad, but...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
You can't, like, pop the
No
balloons,
matter how
huh?
hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
What? Click. Oh. Wait. Oh, we have to push that, I think, different... Did that only... that might be the exact same way it looked. So I thought before there was, like, maybe only one, but no, I think when you click that, there is only two. I think that looks the same. Oh!
Stanley
Yes!
picked up the bucket.
Yes! Okay, now it feels good. Now it feels like a sequel. Okay, nice.
Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office. Nothing responded to the bucket's touch,
balloons are
but it did
perfect.
little to discourage Stanley's belief in the magic of the bucket.
This is what God of War Ragnarok was missing, man. Nice bucket, huh? Required element for every sequel. That's what I think. Suppose that. Alright. No. Alright, let's go. As long as the bucket's there, I'm happy. Oh, I haven't really been looking for, like, collectible things. I guess we can't, like, throw the bucket through anything, can we? Well, this is where the new content was, I think.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I mean, come on now, we gotta see what happens now, right?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Oh.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
I wonder if we can fill it with anything, but probably not. Let's close that so it's not...
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right, then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
Let's give him a minute to get upset about the bucket, I guess.
Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home. Here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home. Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge. Clearly, the bucket and the employee lounge shared a special connection.
I think we'll get going.
But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business.
Is he still encouraging you when you go the wrong way with the bucket? I'm curious.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
He's like doing a voice for the bucket. What?
Good.
Said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
I forgot to, like,
Stanley
step
did not
on it and
question
then get
why or
off.
how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Forgot about whatever this originally was.
No, stop.
Oh.
Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point.
What?
Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
We're getting a... Oh, I was gonna say we are. Are we getting another educational video? We 100% are.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket.
We answer all
Simple
wrong.
enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin.
Hello everybody.
Hey, Ducky.
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Hey, Ducky. We're playing Stanley Parable extra content. We have the reassurance bucket, but the narrator is upset about it.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Okay. I'm gonna just keep saying no, I guess.
Item 3. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. This is a bucket.
They all look the exact same. So funny.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
Narrator's getting upset that we're going off of the path again.
Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket.
Sure. He's just giving it to us. Okay.
Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Okay.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless, is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
Yes.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
Yeah.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
No!
Okay, here we
Not
go.
the reassurance bucket! Fuck. We've lost ourselves the bucket.
What happened?
God damn
Is
it.
everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing
It
in the game
was a bucket. Everything was a
I
bucket.
had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either.
Big to
Oh,
differ.
this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue. But it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what. I'll reset everything, and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And
Yes.
we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person. All right, here we go.
Bucket's back. Hey, there we go. This is a new kind of restart point. Yeah. Oh, it looks different though. It looks weird. Is it? Oh, it
All
is
of his
weird.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, it is different. What?
Stanley lifted the
long
bucket
as
into
we
his
still get our
arms,
bucket.
and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Oh. Oh, it's just the lighting. I thought when I clicked the picture, it turned a different color, but no, it's just because it moved into the lighting. Okay. So this is a different layout. Oh, here we go.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Sure. I don't suppose there actually are those collectible things we can look for at some point, but
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
come on, collectible in here?
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I'd never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things. All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see, I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker. You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with but now, the broom closet is just giving us a silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
I'm gonna give it another minute in case he comes back in, and then we'll go out and come back in again and see what happens. Feels like that probably is it. All right. No, okay. I remember before, right when we went out, he started talking to them. We could go back in and mess with them, but I don't think that's the thing. Does that work?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Or go back to the car park again. We could. I'm wondering if it's going to be a similar ending like the one we got before, or is it different and more bucket related this time? Probably bucket related. Let's this would actually be a good comparison since we did the other one earlier. Yeah,
but Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terrible. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground.
Oh, so it's going to be pretty similar, I think,
he
to
exclaimed.
the last one.
Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
Could it truly be?
All the buckets!
He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly,
the bucket spilled next to the...
He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful.
Oh, God.
Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Okay.
Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course, he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him.
This man
Perhaps
has
he
no
didn't
bucket.
even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Okay. Okay, nice.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
This is new. Like that voice line anyways.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, seriously, wait to see. Huh? Okay. Oh, wait, bucket with the stickers. Yes.
The confusion and the chaos
Yes.
all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Nice. Oh, it's gonna bring our bucket. Okay.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Let's actually just do what it says for a little bit.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
This again.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers.
He
If I
hates the
did,
closet
you can
so
guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
He hates the broom closet. Don't suppose he has any more to say about it. I'll give him like a minute. Okay, I think he's probably done. Unless... Okay, alright, let's go.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Let's do it. Oh, this is... I don't remember this being open when we did this like an hour or two ago. Oh!
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Sweet. Oh, so the boss knows what the boss says goes. Boss suffered losses. That's what the boss chose. Okay. It's this way. Panda? Ding. Ooh. Down. You gotta love the little elevator music with the random whispered Stanley in the background. Oh. Wait, what? What about up? Same thing? Or, I wonder. Hey, there we go. I feel like it just goes and you have to just push it and it stops, right? Or it might be one of those things where it's like, if you just leave it, it's like, oh, wait for an hour, maybe something happens. I know they have some stuff that's like that, but I don't want to wait that long. It is neat, you can just go in there and just just chill with the music, but... Ooh. Ooh. Oh no, you know, when you do find those and click them, they do advance a block. If that's a way to find a collectible or not.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos.
Yes.
It would be with him, always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
I just want to
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Oh, I can't play the piano? No. Can the bucket? Nope.
2845. For God... But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
I can't see it, but... Yes! Got it in the dark. I was hoping that would close it or something, but no.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs. What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Okay.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
I suppose he gets mad when I...
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again.
What?
The bucket said nothing.
Wait, do we actually want to press 3? Okay, yeah, let's try it.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Okay. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
Four? Doesn't have anything funny dialogue for that. All right, let's go.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly. A hint of regret nagged in the back of Stanley's mind. Should he demonstrate the number 3 for the bucket again?
He's kind of keeps like talking about it. Maybe we do. Okay, maybe I don't know if something else happens or if the narrative just gets annoyed.
No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing. Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fear. And the whole time, he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all, only silence.
Okay.
Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
Okay, let's go. This thing doesn't... Yeah, okay.
Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
You don't support now. I'm just gonna get going. Number 3 is interesting though.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Or... No, let's actually just go. Wait. Why was this yellow? Why is... Doesn't matter. Oh! Or escape. Oh, what's this way?
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Oh no.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.